Good morning, everyone, and welcome to CSL Greater Boston. I'm Gina, and I'm blessed to be the director here and a practitioner that is in service, and blessed to be part of this beloved community. Now, you may look around and say, wait a minute, it looks a little different today. Yes, I am from home today. So I am here, but I am knowing that we are all together as one in spirit. So I'm so grateful. We have a great couple of women that I am blessed to be a part of this ceremony today. And both ministers, both lovely souls that are going to be here with me to help uplift and bring that presence into the knowing, into the forefront, into the wonder of life itself. So thank you for being here with me this holiday weekend and knowing truth with me. So let's jump in and have a beautiful time listening to Michael Gott sing, I release and I let go of everything that came before right here and right now.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, gotta let it go. Gotta let it all go. Are you listening? You got to let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release. I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I am free in the Spirit. Do you want to be free? Then let me hear you say yes. Yes, I'm only here for God. I know.
You could not possibly be awake, hear that song, and not be moving in your seat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that song. And it is a gift to remember. that we get to just let it all go and just give it all to spirit. And that's what we're here to do today. We get tools, we get a knowing, we get freedom by simply remembering it. And I'm going to call in now for our invocation the beautiful Reverend Valerie.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, CSL Greater Boston. Thank you. Thank you for choosing to be with us this morning. We are here. We are only here for God. Yes. And so I invite you to get centered into this now moment. Allowing yourself to take in a few deep, conscious, cleansing breaths. Eyes open or closed at your comfort level, whatever works for you, except if you're driving, of course. And just breathe and allow yourself to rest. Rest in the experience of you, letting go of the busy mind, the busy morning, and any lower vibrational energies, ideas, thoughts, anything that does not serve your highest and best good. And so continuing to breathe, moving into the stillness of my being, and recognizing the oneness of all life, recognizing and realizing the divine spirit of love, peace, joy, wholeness, perfection. It's all good and it's all God. And it is from this space, in this awareness of this divinity, that I bless this morning's Sunday service, blessing each and every person listening, blessing each one, gifting us with their talents, those that are behind the technology, the readers, the music, and so much more. I know that we each are blessed with the wisdom from the message delivered through our guest speaker, Reverend Sherry, as she taps into this divine intelligence, sharing truth, and knowing that we each accept that which is ours to have for our own individual growth. And so I just claim and accept with gratitude that the highest good is all around us, through us, and about each and every one of us. And that the divine activity of this Sunday's celebration service unfolds to its perfection. And so I just call it good and very good. I call it God in action. And so in gratitude, we say together, and so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Thank you so much, Reverend Valerie. That was beautiful. And I'm giving the sacred reading this morning. And this topic to me called called out for this particular poem that I wrote. And it's one of my favorites because it actually was inspired by Ernest Holmes' this thing called You. And it's called Love Letter from Spirit, which I believe that book was completely a love letter from Spirit. You are my beloved. No greater purpose could ever be. You, as my creation, are the embodiment of love. What else could you be? I gave you life because you're worthy. My deepest blessing in every breath for thee. You used my mind, your free will, set your own path, both in pain and blessing. You are free. You are as close as your breath to me. Energy and atoms in physical form. All me, given freely to use as you choose, although not always consciously. I love you, my child, and offer you the world to see. I create in abundance, and for you, it's all free. So remember how much I love you, my child, and hold you lovingly. I will never forsake you, and ever will I embrace you, but only when you come to me. So just a reminder, we get to go home, and that home is right here where we are. And just knowing that gift, I it is a love letter, and it's for each one of us. And I now have a blessing that I get to introduce our guest speaker today. And for those of you, some of you may know, some may not, there's been a lot of guest speakers lately. If you've been watching, we've had a lot of wonderful people, ministers and practitioners that have come in and shared such amazing wisdom. And I'm so grateful for them. I'm also grateful to our leadership council. See, over the past 2 months, I've been taking my capstone exams for ministerial school, which are now complete. So I am so grateful to the board for understanding I needed some extra time, and for all the wonderful speakers, the ministers, the practitioners, people that came in and shared so much. Thank you. And Reverend Sherry is our guest for today, and she's a wonderful gift. Her heart is beautiful. You'll feel it as she speaks. She's the newest member of New Thought Media Network's prayer team, and she also leads CSL's visioning team for the Global Heart of Peace Initiative. And until March, the end of March this year, she's the senior minister and lead faculty CEO, business manager, and everything else of the One Heart Retreat Center, which was 2 hours from anywhere in Arizona. And now she's in a whole new place, in a whole new role, doing similar things. She's still still the lead of the One Heart Retreat Center. It's a virtual retreat center. So just like we're here virtually, and Spirit is exactly where we are, it's exactly where she is. Only she's around a lot more wonderful people that she can bless with her presence. Her talk today is The Gift of Presence. And it's about a survival technique, spiritual practices that make it possible for her to be all that she consciously evolves into for the next phase of her life. And she's going to share that with us. So I am so grateful to bring Reverend Sherry in, and she is going to share with us the gifts of presence. Good morning, and thank you for being here all the way from Missouri.
Thank you for having me, Gina. You made one small mistake that everybody made. AR is Arkansas, not Arizona.
I did it again.
Arizona would have been probably a nicer place to be, but not as pretty, in my opinion, because the trees are like this in Arizona. I mean, in Arkansas, not so many trees in Arizona.
Very true.
But other than that, you got it right.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm so delighted to be here. As Gina said, until March 31st of this year, I was the entire staff of One Heart Retreat Center. And my talk today is about the survival technique, the spiritual practice that makes it possible for me to be the entire staff and everything else that God puts in front of me to be, and to consciously evolve into the next phase of my life, which at this point is One Heart Retreats as an online ministry, but there's no telling what it'll be next time. That practice, that spiritual tool, is presence. Little bit of background. On July 31st of 2017, I received my ministerial license, and on October 14th of that year, my husband and I arrived at One Heart with a moving van, a rental trailer, 2 dogs, and a cat. 5 months and 5 days later, my husband was diagnosed with acute small cell lung cancer that had metastasized to his brain, his spine, his liver, and his adrenals. He made his transition exactly 1 month later. I should mention that my previous career was as an academic. I taught college for 35 years. But my husband, he spent 40 and plus years in hotel management. It was the perfect pairing. He was the business person and I was the God person. And then all of a sudden, I became the person, which gave a whole new meaning to the phrase on-the-job training. My first tactic was to use Kris Kringle's advice to the Frost King in the story of Santa Claus. Put one foot in front of the other. Repeat, repeat, repeat. We had done a lot of planning, and I had a good board of trustees. So once the shock wore off, this tactic worked. It worked for the business of One Heart, that is. But it left me feeling spiritually stranded and stumped. However, I was blessed with a marvelous mentor who helped me to stay awake and focus, plus 2 prayer partners, one of whom has been my prayer partner for over 15 years. This was the beginning of my God Squad, the folks who both model and support me in expressing and experiencing genuine presence. Over the past 4.5 years, that squad has grown to 5 prayer partners and a Power of 8 group and an accountability partner. Understand, please, that one foot in front of the other thing has a couple of really important components. Staying focused, which is another word for present, with a capital P, and the attitude of gratitude that makes that focus possible. At first, I stayed really busy so I wouldn't notice how alone I was, but eventually that just stopped working. The advice I got from every quarter was to make friends with the loneliness. Yeah, right. First, I had to just get used to the idea that I actually was dealing with physical isolation. Of course, this turned out to be really great prep for COVID. Believe it or not, this also turned out to be both simple and relatively easy. Simple and easy, in case you didn't know it, are not synonyms. I had a prayer room in my little cabin, and I started my morning there every day of the world. When I realized that I needed to practice some self-care in my grief, I turned there. Divine order is always in operation. So when I set up my prayer altar, it ended up under an uncurtained window that overlooks a tiny park on the property. There are a multitude of birds, including cardinals, after whom the little park is named, plus armadillos, raccoons, and squirrels in this little park, which is not quite half a city block in size. And as I sat in meditation, their movement drew my attention away from my own pain and into the beauty of nature. Looking out that window reminded me that I am clearly not alone. In addition to dogs, which was temporarily increased to 3, and a cat, I lived with birds, wildlife, and the cows who surrounded the property on 3 sides. That was the first gift of my grieving, the first of my presence of presence. That view is the only thing about 2 hours from everything Arkansas that I really miss. As I allowed myself to feel the beauty around me, I began to have a glimmer of the beauty within me. My prayer practice went from 1 hour to 2 hours, and those hours flew by every morning. good morning prayers followed by reading from 8 or 9 books and booklets, including the daily guides from Science of Mind magazine and Unity's Daily Word. Then 15 to 30 minutes of meditation. This routine gave me such an experience of the numinous presence around me that I just naturally allowed a spring of presence to well up within me too. I didn't so much get used to the idea of isolation as allow it to fade from my awareness as a negative thing. Isolation was transformed from a loneliness to solitude. You don't have any choice about a loneliness, but solitude you choose. My altar also has a collection of votive candles that represent attributes of divinity that I want to embody, such as love, life, wisdom, guidance, joy, and inspiration. About a year ago, a guest at the retreat center left behind a frosted glass candle holder with the word gratitude etched on it, together with a little picture of a gift. This second present of presence has joined the collection on my prayer altar. I said earlier that the attitude of gratitude is what makes focus possible. Actually, that attitude is what directs the focus inward and upward, which is all that is required to move from observation to awareness of presence. It turns out, at least in my experience, that presence is absolutely focused on or in the present moment. It's not possible to be present in the past, not even the immediate past moment, nor in the future, not even the next breath you take. So how is gratitude connected to presence? We absolutely can be grateful for gifts received in the past and also for gifts anticipated in the future. However, we feel the gratitude only in the present moment. Gratitude requires presence. In fact, feeling anything at all requires presence because feeling happens when we are focused in the current moment, and it requires our full attention. Oddly enough, at least for me, presence also requires gratitude because it feels so immense, so divine, so beyond separation and into oneness. So have I actually made friends with the loneliness? Yes and no. Yes, because I have learned to value the time with myself spent recognizing and experiencing oneness. Feeling the joy of knowing I can never actually be alone, much less abandoned. This appreciation of solitude, as opposed to solitary existence, made COVID a very small bump in my personal road. I will admit that since my ministry before COVID was already at least 50% online and 30% via Zoom, I had a much smaller adjustment than most ministers. And in fact, on January 23rd of 2021, last year, my 71st birthday, I was ordained as a religious science minister online via Zoom, and the ceremony was beautiful. And it even included a procession of the over 50 clergy in attendance. And no, because I still treasure the time I spend in community with people I love. And I believe I should have a minimum daily requirement for hugs, which, while possible via Zoom, are just not as satisfying as in-person physical hugs. This led me to prayer. Big surprise, right? Seeking guidance. I knew I was where God had brought me to be, doing the work God gave me and making a difference in the consciousness of that place. And I was committed to staying there until God decided I was done. So that's what I prayed. Plus, if it's not really necessary for me to be here to do your work, God, I would really love to go home. On January 3rd, I sold the property in Arkansas, which was not even on the market. And on March 31st, One Heart Retreats moved home to the Kansas City area. I am absolutely passionate about presence. I know it is the solution to every problem facing me or us or the planet today. I can tell you about the importance of presence. I can tell you what it means to me. I can describe how it feels to me. But what I can't do is feel it for you. So we're going to take a little break right here to experience presence firsthand. Please put down anything you're holding. Relax into your chair, trusting it to support you. Take a nice, easy breath and let your eyes drift shut, or at least go to a soft gaze. Let your attention be focused on your feet. Imagine that you are breathing through your feet, and with each breath, they relax a little more. Now feel that relaxation drift up your calves, into your knees, through your hips, across your abdomen, up your rib cage, across your chest, along your shoulders, up your neck, across your face, your ears, your forehead. Now notice how relaxed your hands are. Your wrists, your arms, your elbows, back to your shoulders. Now feel all the stress draining down your back and out of your body. Doesn't this lightness of being feel wonderful? All of your attention is now in your consciousness. And there is no separation between any of us. We are all floating in the consciousness of oneness. There is no place where I stop and anyone else begins. No place where anyone stops at all. We are infinite. We are eternal. We are here now. We are one now. We are fully present in this moment of oneness. Just take a few more easy breaths and allow your attention to ease back into the room. How do you feel? Can you imagine what it would be like to live in this feeling? Now, expand your imagining to include the entire human race. If you can imagine the entire human race experiencing the oneness of presence, then you know that it is within the realm of possibility. So let's adopt that imagining as our vision for the world. Do you see that in a world where everyone stayed present in the presence, disease, hunger, lack, violence, racism, homelessness, discrimination of any kind, even war would simply not be possible? Consider this aspect of our vision. If we were all present in every moment, we would be living in constant awareness of our connection with divine mind. That would put us firmly in the flow, the infinite flow of divine inspiration and guidance. We would have eliminated the concept of unreachable goals. So for the purpose of this talk, it doesn't matter if you spell presence with a CE at the end or with a TS. Can you see now that presence with a CE contains the presence with a TS of peace, compassion, wholeness, generosity, and love for ourselves and for all of life. So how do we start? We can begin with baby steps. Determine that you will bring yourself into the presence of the present moment as you fall asleep tonight. And do so with the intention of waking up present in the morning. Give yourself the gift of self-care by setting an intention to spend the first 2 minutes of every hour you're awake focusing your attention on being present. Just 2 minutes. After a week, add another 2 minutes, and this time noticing the presence of the divine as it is expressing in your life each hour that you are awake. I know that if you follow this experiment, you too will thrive, whether you live in the middle of a rural area or in the middle of an urban setting, no matter what your path is, without ever feeling isolated, abandoned, or alone. What do you have to lose? Stress? Lack? Fear? Loneliness? Namaste.
Absolutely beautiful message. And I will definitely be listening to this one again, Reverend Sherry. Thank you so much. And can you take us through, maybe you can take us through our affirmation?
The affirmation is, I am always present in the presence.
And we can say it all together one more time.
I
am
always
present
in the presence.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Oh, what a powerful message. And yes, I want that world. I choose that world where the glory and the goodness is what exists and we thrive in. So thank you so much for that beautiful message. And on that, our next song is by Gary Lynn Floyd and Jamie Lula, and it's God in Everyone.
Everything beneath the sun breathes like a harmonium. Pure perfection has begun, shining like a midnight sun. Out of darkness I have come. I see God in everyone. Let me be an instrument, guided by an heaven sent. May these grapes of pain ferment, alchemize to love's content, ever be a sacrament, knowing God is my intent. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. God, I feel you all around. Oh, how you astound me with your grace. like a thundercloud. Let me live my love out loud, standing for mankind and proud, baptized in a holy shroud. Peace be still and know me now. God is in all I have found. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. Oh God, I feel you all around. Oh, how you astound me with your grace. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word.
Knowing what I'm here for, growing on to distant shores,
Oh, how you
flowing from
astound
the
me
infinite,
with your praise.
God in everyone, oh,
Spinning like a prayer field,
let me know your
turning like Ezekiel's
hold me
wheels,
in the
nothing
same
like a kiss seals
as
the
your
spirit I've become. Oh, knowing what I'm here for, rolling on the distant shore, flowing from the infinite, God in everyone. Out of darkness I have come. I see God in everyone.
Whew. Beautiful song, beautiful message. And yes, I see God in everyone. It's remembering that, regardless of the distractions that we see. And we definitely have seen some distractions this week. I am knowing that love, I am knowing that possibility is right here and right now. And I am knowing that we are bringing you, calling it forth. So if you have been blessed, as I have been blessed by this message in the service today, I invite you to practice the law of circulation. Please know that we are here because of what you do. You enable us and allow us to bring it forth. So you can go on PayPal. You can actually scan that little bar if you'd like. You can do text to give as well, and the number is right on the screen. Know that we are here and able to grow and spread this good news because of you. And I'd invite you to share with me in our sacred giving affirmation today. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. So I invite you to circulate your good in every way, from kindness and kind acts to whatever you can give, whether it's here and everywhere. Know that what we give always comes back multiplied. And I am so grateful to you in all that you've given for our community. And before we close, I just wanted to mention that we are also available. Thankfully, we're grateful to be on New Thought Media Network at 5 p.m. every Sunday, going out to all over the world. And I do want to mention that we've got some classes coming up. We've got some great things going on. Please go to our Facebook page, hit like, go to CSLBoston.org, CSLBoston.org, and sign up for our newsletter. So you'll hear about classes, you'll hear about different events that we've got coming up. I thank you for being here with us. And before we go anywhere, of course, I'm going to bring Reverend Sherry back for treatment for our affirmative prayer.
Thank you. There's nothing I like better than praying out loud. So I invite you to just relax. Hear this treatment as though the words are rising up in your own heart. There is only one light, infinite, unlimited, eternal, and omnipresent, and it is God. I am the manifestation of a perfect idea in the mind of God, so I am inseparable from that light. I am an outlet for the light that shines in me, through me, and as me. I am the light of God expressing in my world, illuminating every situation. My presence is the presence of God. It suffuses my world and surrounds all I encounter with the light of love, peace, and wholeness. I see clearly the divinity of all people through the light I am. My vision is pure, so it sees only truth in each event and in each relationship, in each thought. My mind is clear with the light, so my thoughts are wise, and I communicate easily and fluidly with every person as I serve in any capacity. Conflict disappears, replaced by oneness and compassion. My heart is filled with the glow of love that lights my world and spills out through me onto everyone I meet. I rejoice at the peace and serenity I feel, knowing this truth is infallible and instantaneous. I celebrate the truth and my awareness of it as I release this word to the law of its unfailing fulfillment. And so it is. And so I celebrate.
And so it is. And thank you. Thank you so much for being here with us, celebrating with us. What a gift it is. People can find out again more about us, cslboston.org. Thank you for being here with us and shining your light, each one of you, as we come together in this oneness, knowing truth, we make a difference. So when we sing this final song, Spirit is in this place by Denise Rosier, it's knowing that this place is right here. We don't have to be in one spot together. We are in one together. So knowing that Spirit is in this place. Have a beautiful week. Namaste. Love and blessings to each of you.
Good morning. Get ready to raise the roof. Spirit is in this place. We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. Yes. And we have come with arms wide affirm our life as sacred. We declare that peace is here. Yeah, Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Ooh, Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the room with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, Spirit is in this place. Let's sing it. The Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise a roof with shouts of praise. Raise a roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Good morning. Bless you.